Today it is now mainly talking about transpiration. We are going to look at transpiration in plants because now we are driving our classification of plants and we've looked at very many things so far. Then right now we are going to look at transpiration. Please, some people here, they pronounce it wrongly. They pronounce it as transpiration. My dear learners, it is not transpiration, but it is transpiration. And then what is it? We were seeing here a diagram. Then this diagram, we are having a plant. Then a plant has a polythene bag. Then we are having some simple small things you are seeing there. Then what are those? Then automatically, those ones are droplets of water. Therefore, this is what we call transpiration. In a definition, we are going to write and say transpiration is a process. Transpiration is a process by which plants lose water. Then some members, they make a mistake when they're writing the word lose. Instead of lose, then they write loss. That is very wrong. It is lose, to lose water. Then again, another mistake which is made by learners when it comes to defining transpiration, some of them, they say transpiration is the process by which these plants lose excess water. No, it is not excess. These plants, they don't wait to be with a lot of water, then they lose it. So it is a necessary evil. It is needed. Even if a plant has little water or a lot of water, it has to lose that water, because we are going to see why is it called a necessary evil. Then then transpiration, we said, is the process by which these plants lose water. Then these plants can lose their water, one, through small openings on them, which we call the stomata. Then they can also lose water through what we call the cuticles, the coverings of their leaves, and also they can lose water through what we call the lens cells. The lens cells, this is not the right spelling. The lens cells, so through the lens cells, and then these lens cells are normally seen in what we call the cereals, and the best example here, it is the maize. When you look at the maize, it has nodes. So this one is the node, then even this one is the node, then the space between here, it is the internode. Then at the node here, we have some small swellings. If you look at a sugar cane, you can see them, or the maize stem. So these ones are the lens cells. So plants can lose water through these small openings called the lens cells. Then because these plants lose water through these different small openings, then this one gives us what we call the types of transpiration. Types of transpiration. One, if the plant loses water through the stomata, like what you are seeing here on the diagram, then it becomes the stomatotranspiration. That is one, stomatotranspiration. If it loses water through the cuticles, then the type becomes the cuticular transpiration. If it loses through the lens cells, then that type becomes lenticular. Therefore, lenticular, cuticular, and stomato are the types of transpiration. Remember, we said transpiration is the process by which plants lose water. But as these plants are losing water, they lose water in form of water vapor. So the process by which plants lose water in form of water vapor. Then the types, you will see them stomato, cuticular, and lenticular, depending on what do these plants use to lose this water. Then we have some plants which lose water in the form of droplets instead of water vapor. When you stand, maybe sometimes when you stand under the tree is now losing water in form of drops. You see big drops coming out. Then that one is not called transpiration. Then that one is called guttation. It is called guttation. So guttation is the process by which these plants lose water in form of droplets. Then transpiration in the form of water vapor. In form of what? Water vapor. Then this process of transpiration, it is very important to our plants. One, this process of transpiration cools down the plants. So when the plants are overheated, then they are going to lose that excess heat in form of water vapor. It's like when we are also breathing that air from our nose, it is warm, meaning that it's coming with excess heat from our bodies. Even this water vapor which is coming from the plants, when it is heated, it comes out with excess heat that has entered it. That's why I've told you it is necessary, it is a must for the plants to lose water, even if it has little or it has a lot of water. The number 2, this transpiration enables these plants to absorb. It enables plants to absorb more water, and mineral salts from the soil. So it enables a plant to absorb more water and mineral salts from the soil, and also it cools the plant. Now let us see a simple experiment to carry out or to see transpiration taking place in plants. So this is our illustration. We are having a potted plant here. This is a polythene, then we have the bucket having soil. So in our experiment, what do we need? One, we need a potted plant. As you are seeing that one. Then number 2, we need to get a transparent polythene. So it has to be transparent such that we can see through it. A transparent polythene, but this polythene shouldn't be with any hole, without a hole. And again, another, this potted plant must be well spread under the sun. So it has to be well spread under the sun. Then let us see the procedure. Procedure number 1, get a transparent polythene over there at home. Get a transparent polythene. Which polythene? A polythene bag without any hole. So without any holes. So that is number 1. After getting that one, then number 2, look around, look for a potted plant, or even if it's not potted, look for a potted plant. Even if the plant is not potted, but as long as it is in soil, a potted plant under the sun. Then after that, so what are you going to do? Then this transparent polythene bag you got without any holes, then tie your polythene. Tie your polythene on one of the leaves. You can tie a polythene on one of the leaves, or around the shoot, So around the shoot, and leave it. Then leave the plant, and leave the plant for 2 to 5 hours. Then after doing so what I've written down here, it is this. So your plant must look like this. That's to resemble mine over here. So we tie it. So this one is the polythene is wound around the shoot, or for you can just tie on one leaf. Then you keep it under the sun for 2 or 5 hours. Then after those hours, what are we going to observe? So you'll go back and check. So for me, what I'm going to observe, I'm going to see droplets of water. So droplets of water on the polythene. Then where did this water come from? So the water came from the leaves. Then what does this mean? So my conclusion, so I conclude by saying now transplants carry out transpiration. So that one is a simple experiment that shows us the process of transpiration in a plant. So please try it out, you'll enjoy. So now alright, so from that experiment, now let us look at how important is transpiration in our environment. How important is this process of transpiration in the environment. So this process of transpiration is very important to our environment. As we said, it is also important to plants, if you remember, whereby we said it cools the plant when it is heated. Number 2, we said it enables a plant to absorb more water and mineral salts from the soil. Then here we are having our diagram, and this diagram is showing us what to call a water cycle. So it shows what we call a water cycle, meaning that these plants, as they carry out transpiration, so this process of transpiration enables us to get rainfall. So transpiration helps in rainfall formation, as we are going to see in this diagram. So this diagram, the plant is having the roots, then the roots are in the soil, then these roots are going to take up water from the soil, because one of the components of soil is that a soil contains water. Then this water is going to move up the stem by the process of capillary attraction. Then it's going to enter the plant leaves. Then when it enters the plant leaves, the leaves are having veins. Then the veins are going to supply the water to every part or to every cell of a leaf. Then after that, it is a sunny day, we are having the sun here. Then this sun is going to produce the light, and this light plus the heat. Then the process by which this heat from the sun is reaching this plant is going to be radiation. So we call it radiation. Then this heat is going to heat these leaves. Then the leaves are going to be overheated. So in order to cool, the water inside them is going now to come out in the form of water vapor, and this process is called transpiration. Then as this water vapor reaches the atmosphere, is going to reach what we call the condensation level. Then it's going to form clouds. Then the clouds are going to become heavy, and they are going to precipitate. They are going to come down back as water, that is rain. Therefore, transpiration is very important in our environment in a way that it helps in rain formation. Therefore, I urge you to plant more trees so that we get more rain water. So as you have seen how important transpiration is very important, so as you have seen how important transpiration is to our environment, then we are having some factors affecting the rate of transpiration, the things that can make a plant lose water. So some things can make plants lose a lot of water, other factors can make a plant to lose less water. So those are what we call factors. And how do they affect? Do they make a plant lose more water, or they make a plant lose less water? Now we are going to start with our factor number 1. Factor number 1 is what we call humidity. We are going to start with the humidity. This is factor number 1. Now, what do you know about humidity? Humidity is the amount of water vapor. This is the amount. Humidity is the amount of water vapor in the atmosphere. Is the amount of water vapor in the atmosphere. Then, if now we are having a plant here. Let us say this is our plant. These are the leaves. Then it has the roots. Then this is our atmosphere. Then in the atmosphere we are having water vapor already, that is humidity. Then remember, this plant has to lose water also in form of water vapor. Then if now this plant is losing water in form of water vapor, and now in the atmosphere we have a lot of water vapor, it means that this plant is going to lose less water in form of water vapor, because there is no space to for this water vapor which is coming from the plant to occupy. Therefore, humidity, how does humidity affect the rate of transpiration? When there is a lot of water vapor in the atmosphere, then the plant is going to lose less water. Thus, that is the rate is going to be low. So this is when humidity is very high humidity. When humidity is very high, then the plants are going to have what we call a low transpiration rate. The higher the humidity, the less transpiration is going to be seen in the atmosphere. Then again, when the humidity is very low, then transpiration is going to be very high, because we say the humidity is the amount of water vapor in the atmosphere. When we have a lot of water vapor in the atmosphere, then these plants will lose less water vapor in the atmosphere, because there wouldn't be enough space to accommodate this water vapor from the plant. That is our factor number 1, humidity. Then factor number 2 here, it's going to be wind. Wind is the air in motion, or wind is the moving air. Now, once the weather is windy, if it is too windy, then the plants are going to have what we call a high rate of transpiration. Now, if here we are having our leaf, then this leaf is losing water vapor here. This is water vapor. Then if wind blows, if now this is the wind, and if now the wind is blowing, it will sweep away this water vapor. As it sweeps away this water vapor, it will create space for more water vapor. Then this one encourages this plant to keep on losing water vapor because there is space to occupy. So wind increases the rate of transpiration. So once it is not windy, then the rate of transpiration is going to be very low. When it is too windy, then the rate of transpiration is going to be very high, because the wind will have swept away the water vapor to create space for more water vapor from the leaf. Therefore, it encourages the plant to lose more water vapor. Then our factor number 3, number of stomata. Number of stomata. So number of stomata, remember we said stomata are small openings are found in leaves. Stomata, these are small openings found in leaves. So this water vapor comes out of the leaf through what we call the stomata. So we are having leaf A here, and now we are going also to consider leaf B here. Now when you look at this leaf A, it has 1, 2, 3, 4. This one has 1, 2, 3. So this one has more stomata, then this one has less stomata, meaning that this one is going to lose a lot of water because it has very many stomata. Then this one is going to lose less water. Therefore, what does that one mean? This means that if a plant has very many, or it has a lot of stomata, it's going to lose a lot of water. Thus, the transpiration rate is going to be very high. So if it has less stomata, then it's going to lose less water. Then the rate of transpiration is going to be very low. Number of stomata. Then let us look at our factor number 4. Remember we said one of the factors is humidity, another is wind, another is number of stomata. Then our number 4, it is going to be the surface area of a leaf. A surface area of a leaf. Surface area of a leaf. Now we are going to compare these two leaves. We have this, then we also have this. Now this leaf A, it is large, then this one is small, meaning that now if this one is large, it's now going to be exposed to the environment, even to wind, to sunlight, and other factors. Thus it's going to lose a lot of water. Then this one, which is having a small surface area, is going to have to lose little or less water. Therefore, if the larger the surface area, the higher the rate of transpiration, and the smaller the surface area of a leaf, then the less the rate of transpiration. Then our factor number 5, we are now going to look at temperature. Factor number 5 is temperature. So temperature is the degree of hotness or coldness of an area. Now temperature, if now we are having this plant A here, and we have also a plant B here. So this plant, it is in coldness, and this one, it is in hotness. Now once this one is in hotness, the water inside the leaf is going to be heated and it's now going to turn into water vapor. So this one, which is in hotness, is going to lose a lot of water vapor, but this one in coldness is not going to lose a lot of water vapor. Therefore, the higher the temperature, the higher the rate of transpiration. Then lastly, we are having what we call light intensity. When there is a lot of light in the atmosphere, then the stomata found in leaves are going to open, and once they open, they are going to allow water to go out in form of water vapor. So the higher the light intensity, the higher the rate of transpiration. And once we don't have a lot of light in the atmosphere, the stomata are going to close, and once they close, then there is no passage for water vapor from the leaf. Therefore, our factors in summary, we are having light intensity, we are having temperature, the surface area of a leaf, we have wind, number of stomata, we are having also humidity as the factors affecting the rate of transpiration. After having looked at the factors affecting the rate of transpiration, so some factors make plants to carry out transpiration at a very high speed, and others make plants to carry out transpiration at a very low speed. Then we are going to look at now how plants reduce the rate of transpiration, just in case now it is a sunny day, it is a dry season, meaning that the temperatures are very high, it is very windy, then these ones are making, and it is the humidity, it's not too humid, we have less humidity, meaning that all the conditions in the environment, they are forcing, or they are making this plant to keep on losing a lot of water. But again, when these plants lose a lot of water, they are going to do what? To wilt, because now the water from the soil is going to get exhausted, and once it gets exhausted, then the leaves are going to start dropping, then the stems become weak, eventually the plant is going to do what? To die. But again, these plants have developed mechanisms to see that they don't lose a lot of water. Now, that's what we are going to look at right now here. How plants reduce the rate of transpiration. Take an example of a plant in a desert. So now those plants in a desert, they are going to be losing a lot of water because there is a lot of, the temperatures are very, very high. But we don't see those plants dry. Then they have this adaptation. They have what we call thick leaves. Their leaves are very thick, so they have thick leaves. Now once the leaves are very thick, it will be difficult for the water to ooze out of them. So for example, the cactus leaves, if you know the cactus like this, it has thorns, so the leaves are too thick. Why? In order to reduce the rate of transpiration. Then number 2, some plants are deciduous, meaning that they shade their leaves. So they shade their leaves. So they shade their leaves because through these leaves, it's where what is going to be lost, because the leaves have stomata, and now each stoma is going to start losing a lot of water. Therefore, to reduce that one, so they have to to shade all the leaves in order to reduce the rate of transpiration. Then number 3, some plants have deep roots. Some plants have deep roots in order to suck water from deeper parts of the soil. Now if the roots are very short, then they are going to just get that water which is nearer, then the water will get exhausted, thus the plant will do what? Dry. But again, to prevent that one, they are going to have deep roots to go deep down there to suck water from every corner inside there, so that to prevent wilting. The number 4, they have small leaves. Some plants have small leaves. Why? To reduce the surface area for transpiration to take place. Then other leaves have, some plants have waxy cuticles. When the cuticle is waxy, it becomes water repellent. Therefore, the rate of transpiration will have been reduced. Then number 6. Number 6, some plants have what we call sunken stomata. So they have sunken stomata. So their stomata are deep inside the leaves, so they cannot be easily exposed to light. And once they are not exposed to light, they will remain closed. Thus, the water will not come out. And others hide their stomata. Then others, they have what we call thorny leaves. So some plants have thorny leaves in a way that these thorns are going to reduce the surface area over which the transpiration is going to take a place. Number 1, we've said they have thick leaves. They shade their leaves, especially during the dry season, and we call them deciduous. Some have deep roots, others have small leaves, other plants have waxy cuticles, then others have sunken stomata, and others have thorny leaves. So I congratulate you for being a good learner from where we started up to now. So this one marks the end of our lesson at transpiration. So I urge you to go down there to copy the notes and do the assignment given there. I see you in the next lesson, and we shall be looking at photosynthesis. Stay home, stay safe.